Alright, welcome to our final match for the day. We are taking on a Brave Self team here, and we're going to go with a hit and run approach. This one doesn't have a far save, but it does have some really nice traps involved. Whenever you see Brave Robin, you got to be a little bit careful because he does have that warp effect in his C skill that just allows him to fly across the map. So you always got to be a little bit careful whenever you see Dimitri. My apologies, Brave Robin lying in the back row because he can get you. He can get you with that jump scare. And they also have legendary Brave Crom here just to catch you again off guard with the Chichen's Fate or the whatever his thing is called. If you break the thing that's right here, the tactics room, that's the only place that he can reposition anyone, unless someone ends up on, well, he can't even get that far. So yeah, you would have to break the tactics room, which I am not going to do for Brave Crom to be able to get his to change fate in, and then, you know, do his stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of trying to figure out what's the best B skill for Self. I see hit and run a lot, but I don't know. It has its value, but I'm wondering if maybe Gambit would be better. Yeah, that's something that I'm thinking about. Or probably even Flow Desperation, the one that allows him to quad. To hit before the enemy attacks. I think that one might be my favorite. I'm kind of leaning towards it because it plays really well with his Miracle playstyle. Whereas the Gambit is just Pierceable VR comboed with Miracle. Kind of makes him like Legendary Self, but more offensive. So I don't know which one of those playstyles I want to go for on my build. But yeah, that's something to think about. Anyways, let's talk about anime. So yeah, I finished watching. What did I just finish? I finished watching Zoom 100. Yeah, it was alright. Nothing too crazy. I love the animation though. The animation was beautiful, but the last couple episodes were like, there was no like connection to. I didn't have any connection to any of the characters. They felt so underdeveloped that when the final couple episodes came around, I really didn't care what happened to them. And the main villain in the final two episodes was kind of like plucked out of thin air, and I was like, who is this guy? Why do I care about him? It just didn't hit. But overall, I felt like the concept was pretty decent. It's your basic zombie horror type anime, well, film in anime form. And I felt like it worked well. I felt like they could have done a lot more with some aspects of it, but it was okay. Then what did I watch after that? Well, I said I was gonna watch Jujutsu Kaisen, but things just got like super crazy. So that's still on my bucket list. I don't think I've actually picked up anything afterwards. I was reading like the latest chapter of One Piece with Kuma and Bonnie. Bonnie is 12. Like, what the hell? Jewelry Bonnie is 12 years old, and sometimes like I feel like we forget that Luffy's like what, 18, 16, somewhere around 18, 16, somewhere around there. And they're kids beating up 40-year-olds. Like, sometimes I tend to forget that anime has this trope where basically everyone is rewriting their best high school era, which is kind of like overplayed in a lot of anime storylines. Like, everyone has to be a teenager, as if that's the prime of your life. That's like not when you're realistically, you're not making any good choices when you're in your teens. You're really not peaking, like, even physically, until like around 26, 27, 28. That's really when you're at your peak and you're making good decisions with your health and fight styles and all that stuff. So I always like think about that whenever I'm looking at like these anime main characters. Like, they're kind of not relatable in that sense, which is why Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and all of that has like connected with so many people because they see themselves in Goku and Vegeta and how they've been able to like develop themselves from like a kid upwards. And like there's like a really deeper thread in Dragon Ball Z if they ever wanted to examine that, just like from a deep storytelling aspect. Like it kind of just boils down to the fighting a lot of the times, and it's kind of like super like boring because of that. But like when you think about like some of the themes and stuff that could be explored in Dragon Ball Z, it's actually like really deep. They just don't go into it, which is unfortunate but understandable. Yeah, we're gonna see the warp here from Robin in a minute. He's gonna get pretty far. Yep, there it is. Good thing I moved Dagger, because I was actually gonna leave her there. So pretty good thing I moved her. I think Golveg should be able to wreck everything here.
Really?
Which is probably what I'm gonna do. The hard part is gonna be getting the pots. Even though technically I did the math and I don't need the pots here, but I am still gonna get them. I only got like one more match and it's gonna be a double, so it should be fine. But yeah,
sure is hot.
Dragon Ball can be super deep if they had written it better, or if someone eventually like rewrites it and just like removes all the fights, or maybe like they add in the fights but they just make them shorter. I don't know, but Dragon Ball can be like way deeper if they actually rewrote it, kind of like Hunter x Hunter, but like better with the fight animations and everything, you know. But anyways, yeah, I was really surprised that she's 12. Like, I didn't think Bonnie was 12. Like, why do they sexualize her so much for a 12-year-old? It's kind of creepy. Like, she doesn't need to look like that. I know she had the devil fruit where she can like age herself and stuff, but it's a little bit weird, man. Like, a 12-year-old pirate. There's some weird stuff going on there. And but aside from that, I really like the story arc. Kuma, this has been the best story arc so far in One Piece, in my opinion. Aside from, I really loved Doflamingo's arc, Luffy versus Dofi. That was spectacular. Everything like leading up to that, everything that happened after, I thought that was amazing. But once they got to like the whole Kaido stuff, it just got like super drawn out. I really don't know why they elongated it so much. A lot of repetitive fights, a lot of repetitive stuff that could have just like been cut. Gross. That's how I felt. I felt gross watching it. It read a lot better in the manga than what it ended up being on TV or websites, whatever you're watching it on. Which I was saying, I hope they don't do the same with the arc that comes up after Wano. What's it called? I don't remember what the place is that they're called. It's gonna be Vegapunk. I hope they don't do. I hope they do it justice when they animate it, and don't like. To be fair, but then again, I was gonna say to be fair, animation takes a really long time. But then to be fair, if you're drawing all of that extra stuff, then if you cut out the fluff, you'll probably like get through the episodes faster. You know, yeah. But whatever. That's just me thinking out loud. But yeah, I'm gonna pick up Jujutsu Kaisen. And then from there, not much left to watch. I'll probably try to find something else. I don't know. Maybe I go back to like TV shows. I was hearing this one called The Juror, something like that. Some type of comedy about being on jury duty and everyone knows that it's a fake trial except this one guy. So I'm trying to see what that's about. It looks kind of interesting. I don't know. But yeah, man, that's just what I've been doing. Stuff just got really busy. I don't know. Out of nowhere. Yeah. Also, weird thing. I was trying to use my catcher ball in
like the wind.
Just like practicing for Summoner Duels, and it was not doing well. Like it was just a basic catcher ball, and I felt like it just completely lacked mobility. Like I couldn't get anywhere on the map. And lately, I've just been leaning towards calves more for that reason. I feel like the enemy is just like one step out of reach, and if I had like just some type of movement assist or something, or just some extra range, I would be able to get there. And I feel like I might just stop using catcher balls for summoner duels. It just feels a little bit short. I think I have enough calves and ways to make them work that I can probably make the transition safely now with Camilla and No Quarter and everything like that. And I feel like everyone can get to me, but I can't get to them, which is a lot of what Summoner Duels boils down to, threat range. So yeah, that's something that I'm going to work on for the next SDS, which I'm looking forward to. But, I mean, yeah, not much else to really talk about, man. I'm pretty much done with this one. Just gotta get the pots here and move Peony out of the way. Yeah. Oh, I also saw the updates or the display highlight, whatever you want to call it, of the new Dursacer, how her thing works, and I'm a lot less upset because of how it actually works in practice, where you're actually going to be able to be safe for at least one turn after she activates her ability on you. So when your unit gets locked, let's say turn 1, turn 2 they can't get locked again by the same Sather. I mean, if you have the other Sather, the mythic one, then they can do it, but at least there's some workaround to your units being locked every turn, which would have been terribly annoying. I was so upset about the possibility of that, but apparently that's not how it works. It's not really written that way, so I'm very surprised that that's how it plays out. But I mean, I'll take what I can get with that as far as that's concerned. It kind of does lower her value a little bit, but she's still very, very good. I came across like a couple of opponents that played with her in Summoner Duels, and I don't think like she's gonna last very long at the lower end. I think she's gonna be like one of those top tier units that people at the top who play Summoner Duels as quite a lot are gonna be able to utilize her to the fullest potential. But if you don't know what you're doing, it's really easy to avoid her, because all you have to look out for is where is she going to end turn, and if you have units in that lane. And she can only move 2 spaces, so it kind of makes it a little bit easy to predict, unless there's some type of warp shenanigan involved. But yeah, GG's. One more match for the week. See you in the next one.